Okay. We are ready. Hello, everyone. This is Diane Luderman, and I'm with Stephanie Krebs. We miss you guys. This staying indoors really
Yeah,
is
we miss you guys so much.
Yeah, it is a challenge. You know, you don't realize what a social person you are until you are not able to do what you want to do when you want to do it. So, Steph, do you want to tell them what our brainstorm is?
So we have a treat for you. We have been talking back and forth even from the beginning, back to 2015, about how a lot of the members do not understand the foundation of Young Living and the value in the founder, Gary Young, and the value in his love and his passion and his life work that went into Young Living. And I didn't think I would want to cry, but I can't talk about him without wanting to cry. But so what we're going to do is every single Thursday, somebody in our on our team or in our upline is going to go live and getting to know, or do a Zoom recording meeting, and tell you some things about Gary, just to give you a little understanding of it. It's way than those products. It's way more than the oils. It's understanding the mind that's behind it and that passion and that beautiful person that created it and gave us what we have throughout our house. And we both, really think it's extremely important to understand that foundation and to really get that value with Young Living. And it starts, we can't see him in person anymore. But we do have people that have memories of him and have interactions with him. And that's what we're going to try to harness. So that's what me and Diane are going to do today. So we're going to talk about just our first experiences with interacting with Gary, and then we'll do more, down the road. But we really want you to understand that this it's the fire that fuels our passion for Young Living. It's what lit that spark, and it's way different, obviously, for people that have seen him and that have been able to interact with him, but you can still grow that passion from his stories and from his influence and from really being able to look at those products and see Young Living and see him. And see him through those products. And that's what we're hoping to do for you. So thanks for viewing. And Diane, do you want to go first?
I do. I've shared my story with people, and that part of my personality was skeptical. Stephanie helped me introduced me to oils, and I had to go to a number of classes before I ordered my kit. And even after I got it, I wasn't sure of the connection. I knew that the oils were going to help me, but I wasn't sure why. And it happened quite unexpectedly to me one night. I was online in a chat group, and I heard the members talking about going to Toronto to see Gary Young. And I had heard his name. And one of the gals that I really didn't know very well said to me, "Hey, would you like to drive up to Toronto with us on Thursday?" And I said, "Sure, why not?" So that Thursday came, and Melissa Kibler, Autumn Dodds-White, Sherry Schwartz, Amanda Bartz, and myself hopped into a van, and Melissa was our driver, and we drove up to Toronto. I had no idea what this whole thing entailed. Well, it was a health fair, and Gary Young was the lead speaker. So I remember going in and being shocked and seeing this long line. There had to be 2,000 people, women mostly, in this line waiting to get in, and there was an air of excitement, and everybody was, "Oh my God, can you believe he's right here in Toronto?" So I'm just kind of watching everybody, and we file into the room, and when Gary walked on stage, I do have to tell you that there was an excitement, and there was a chill that kind of went up my spine as I sat there and I listened to him talk, because his passion and his love for Young Living and the products that he had created. But more than that, he was so into Mother Earth. He talked a lot about Aurora Borealis, and he talked about the farm up in the North Country, and just his love and his passion was just, it was so inspirational. And I really feel that my time there was meant to happen. I had, like I told you, I had a lot of questions about what is it? How is this going to help me? How do these oils really work? And to say I was a skeptic was putting it mildly. And it really fueled a fire in me when I came home and I began sharing. And up until that point, Stephanie can tell you, I was one of those people who said, never ever going to do the business, never ever go, you kind of keep quiet about it because you're not really sure what you're talking about. You're not really sure why you feel the way you do. Well, ever since that day, nothing has been able to stop me. And that is one reason I love to go to convention every year. When Gary used to walk out on that stage, I would literally have tears in my eyes just to be in his presence and to listen to the science of the, Steph, you sat right next to me. And, Paul always laughs at me because I am one of those girls. I cry at parades. I cry when I read a Hallmark card. I was literally sobbing. I just could not believe the passion that exuded from him. And when he talked about, how he had gone to Yemen, how he had gone to Oman. And these were all countries that people in the United States did not visit. And Gary met with the Minister of Antiquity, and that is how he got his visa to go into some of these countries. Do you understand, to build a distillery in Oman, a Saudi Arabian country, when Gary visited there, he was the first outside visitor in 45 years. And he was able to see remains and of, Pharaoh's tombs, and his story is absolutely amazing. And when you fully understand everything that has gone into the oils, how the seed to seal makes a difference. And I firmly believe that until it clicks with you, until you understand what seed to seal is, you won't share that passion and you won't share that value. And I have to tell you that the moment that I went to the farm in Mona, Utah, and I actually saw the harvesting, I saw the distilling, all of a sudden, it was like a light bulb went off, and I knew we have the best company in the world. I don't need to go anywhere else. They have what I need, and the rest is history. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing that Young Living does for us. So I wanted to share that portion of my story and kind of tell you where I'm coming from. Truth?
Yeah, thank you. It's funny because I felt it all when you were doing. See, you held that together. I can't talk about with him without crying. So my first experience, I couldn't go to that Toronto thing because I had just had Easton, or something like that. I think it was Easton, and I couldn't go. I sold the pump, or I can't remember. It had to have been that. And so convention was our first experience. And I remember sitting with you in that and just getting so riled up and so excited with all the presentations, and sitting in there and be like, all these people are oilers? I don't even know how many were in that stadium that day, maybe 7,000. It wasn't as much as we've seen, but
right.
Like, all these people are oilers. We're our newbies. We're putting on our oil, smelling it. That's the thing I love about convention is everywhere you go, people are just bathing in oils. It's like you have to bathe in oils because the person next to you is bathing in oils. But you're so oily. And we're sitting, you're next to me, you got Paul, Sarah, and everybody down the row, and yeah, Gary walks on stage and he starts talking. I'm like, okay, this is great. This is him. This is awesome, you know. And you know what got me? The first thing that got me before anything is within seconds of being on that stage, he talked about God. Within seconds of being on that stage, he honored our Lord. And that, I was like, ooh, yeah, see? I was like, okay, he's doing good for me right now. This is good. And then he went right into the farms, right into those things. But it was so interesting because the entire time we sat in that presence of him, I felt like I was floating. My entire body felt like it was vibrating, and every couple seconds I just got those shivers everywhere. I mean, every single thing that he said and every single thing that came around me was just so strong and had so much energy. And it just, I had never experienced something like that before. You know, I've experienced things that really motivated me. I've experienced things that really gave me passion and got me amped up, but I never felt somebody so far down in that stage. Their energy just soared through me like the brightest thing. And you could feel that he had everybody's energy connected to him, and he was putting all of his passion into everybody. And I mean, we can still feel it now. You know, it's such a powerful passion, and it gets my heart racing. I feel anxious talking about it. Just in people that are.
Oh, I lost you, Steph. Stephanie, are you there?
Just focusing on profit and give passion to people like that. You know, you can't, it doesn't happen. You can't get that vibration, that energy, that wanting to cry every time you think about that person. You can't get that stuff from a guy that just is like, okay, show me the numbers. No, it doesn't. It's just amazing. And I sat there, I looked around. I looked around and I, you know, felt Diane, we're both crying, you know, and I just remember, I can't remember if this was the one that yes, it was. This is the convention where he said that he ingested 300 drops of frankincense a day.
A day.
And when he said that, the entire stadium went quiet, just dead quiet. 300 drops of frankincense a day. How important is that to you? But it was just amazing because 300 drops, you know, and he was able to churn off all that noise, everything, all the energy just stopped and hung on what he just said.
So that's a bottle.
And it really, yes.
Plus 50.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Amazing. But he felt so strongly about his frankincense, you know, that he did that every day. I mean, I sat there, I did two things. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. That stuff must be so good for you. And two, I'm like, I want to go to his house. I want to go and I want to open his closet. I want to go in his stash. What else does he have in there?
I know.
You know, that just really blew my mind too. But I will never forget the energy that I felt. And I know me and you walking out of there, we couldn't even talk. We were just so. And that, I mean, I was already passionate. I was already gung-ho. But, I mean, he has me for the rest of my life. Just after that conversation that we had, because he talked to me, you know, just after that convention, you know, and that's what passion's about. And the thing that got me, and I know Diane, and I know a lot of you guys that are watching are going to feel this too, is that we're from the country pretty much. Okay. So we understand what a crop is. We understand that farmers do some work. We all kind of have an idea of this. And to have a guy that's in front of thousands of people want to spend an hour or talking about how important soil is, that to us we get, but a lot of people are like, why is this so important? But that to him was where it starts, and in the importance of it. And he would spend hours talking about soil and farming. And that really got me too, because that's the stuff I grew up with. And I'm like, yeah, this is important. You know, you have an opportunity to talk to tens of thousands of people in convention, and you're going to talk about soil to them because that's important. And that says a lot about him. He could have talked about, sell my products, do that. No, it was about, you guys have to understand that this stuff is real. You can't get it anywhere else. This is my life study, my life work, and I will fight every single day until I die, finding the best for you and finding the best avenues for you. And that, it is what happened, you know, and it just, that riles me up because, you know, in closing on my statement, something that really got me in the last couple of weeks about Young Living was that I've always known that we do the above and beyond because we know it's right and just, right? And that's how Gary ran this business, is we're going to do the best quality. I don't care if it costs us much, but this is what we deserve. When I was watching the news when this whole thing came out, and they were talking about how hand sanitizer companies are putting out hand sanitizer and just wanting you to look at the name and buy it, when it has to have 60% or higher ethanol alcohol in it in order to be effective. Guys, Young Living is 65%. So they require you to have 60% in order to actually be effective at fighting germs. Young Living could have stopped at 60, but we're going to do the best we absolutely can and give you 65. You don't have to do that. It costs more money to do that, but that's what Young Living is. And that was really got me excited too, because I'm like, again, Young Living shows that they're going to go above and beyond because they know that is right. And they already knew that you had to have 60% or higher, so they did it. They didn't just sell it because they knew their name was on it. They sold it because of what it's doing. And that's what Young Living's about. Selling things because it has purpose. It's supposed to be good for you. It is good for you, and your body needs this. And you sell it pure from the earth because that's the only way that your body's going to handle it in a full complexity. If you add other things to it, it doesn't work the same.
Something too that really struck me this last convention that we went to, we actually toured the brand new headquarters that has won so many awards, so many prestigious awards, but they have a Gary Young Museum. Gary was a very humble man, and when we walked through that museum, Sarah and I took the pictures on our phones. And there have been a lot of false accusations against Gary, but he was such a visionary that he was doing things. He was doing stem cell research before it was a thing. And that's how he kind of got his hands slapped. But there, he has award upon award. He was a naturopath. He was, you know, his degrees from all the different colleges that he went to. And what a legacy that was, to be able to see that and to be able to know that here was a man who was so humble. He didn't care what others said about him. He was going to do what he knew was right in his heart. And Steph, going back to what you said, somebody who can talk to us for an hour about soil. Know your soil, know your oil. Truth. If you look on the back of this hand sanitizer, I've had a lot of questions. You know, is that stuff good? Does it work? Effective at eliminating 99.99% of common harmful germs and bacteria. What else do you need? I mean, really. It is, you know, what a testimony this man had. And when Stephanie talked before about, you know, that's what he dedicated his life to. Actually, his death was a result of an injury his heart sustained when he was out in the fields looking for new plants for us. That was his demise, actually. I read in the paper today, and this is just something I wanted to call to everyone's attention. The farm down in Ecuador, in Guayaquil right now, that company or that city is being hurt very, very devastatingly by the pandemic that is happening today. So I just ask that everybody keep that city in their prayers. And I don't know what's happening at the farm, if they're open, you know, how this is affecting them. But just keep those workers in your thoughts and prayers along with Young Living.
Yeah, that's really nice. Something I wanted to say too is I had somebody the other day ask me about the feeds, and I was like, well, it's 99.9%. And I was okay, but is it as good as this? I'm like, that is 99.9%. I'm like, take this. You have a full plant product with only plants. There's not one thing in the feeds. I could drink it and it would taste horrible, but it's not going to hurt me. I can't put other things down my throat and not be worried about being poisoned. Why am I going to spray this around my house? Why am I going to put this near my dog? People always question about dogs. I don't want this stuff being inhaled by my dog. I don't want this stuff being inhaled by any of us. I don't want it on my food. I don't want it on my dishes. I don't want it on my plates. I don't want it in my ear, on my floor, nothing. That scares me. This plant-based thing can't harm me. Again, I could ingest it. I can put it in my eyes. It's not going to hurt me. It's just going to feel weird. Why can't we put value in that? That's what drives people to understand. And people, I know a lot of people have panicked and bought the other stuff. Why? You don't need to. You have everything that you need, and it's ensured that it is, and it's amazing. But so we are going to put our hearts into this, and we are going to either, you know, I'm going to reach out to Diamonds. We're going to reach out to other people that have had experiences, that have, you know, interacted and seen him. And we are going to dedicate Thursdays to doing something towards Gary because he deserves it. And you guys deserve to at least know Gary Young and see and have some type of knowledge of him, because without him, we wouldn't have the purity. Without him, we wouldn't have the hard research. Without him, we wouldn't have the passion. Without him, we wouldn't have the technology to be the world leader. We wouldn't have any of those things. And it's extremely important. Yes, the people that are currently in Young Living are extremely, extremely important. Jared Turner is a phenomenal CEO. His wife is wonderful, Mary. But, you know, really putting honor to him is huge. And I will tell you, I'm going to pop on eventually here. My son can tell you knowledge he has of Gary Young, because that boy sat down with me when I watched his funeral. And that was his, what he said after that. He was like, wow, this guy sounds like a really great guy, Mom. We should have met him. I'm like, oh, I just lost it. He was young, you know, and he understood that, you know. He's like, he's done a lot of stuff. Yeah, buddy, you know. I've never cried so hard for somebody I haven't physically held. You know, it's amazing.
It was a sad day. That was
all right. So
all right.
2 hours and 20 minutes. The funeral, 2 hours and 23 minutes.
There you go. There you go. Well, we thank everybody for watching our video today, and we hope this we hope it holds a special place for you. We hope it helps you to understand what we have come to know and love for the past 5-6 years. We hope it carries for you the same peace of mind, knowing that when you bring these products into your home, it is a statement. It is a statement of love. It is a statement of caring. It is a statement of faith. And Young Living is a very faith-based organization, and I am just so honored to be a part of it. I wouldn't have the amazing friends, half of the amazing friends that I have today, had it not been for Young Living. So thank you all for viewing. And anything else, Steph?